Numerous studies have shown that playing board games can help kids develop basic math skills. This is really important because math builds on itself. Having fluency in things like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division are really important when you're being introduced to more complex subjects later on. Not all games will be as beneficial as others. It's important that there is actually some kind of counting or multiplication or something like that. Games with dice work better than others. Here's a game that I play with my daughter. It's called First to 400, and it is a game specifically designed to teach multiplication. It's a great way to have fun, but then you're also learning math at the same time. It's basically gamifying mathematics. Memorizing multiplication tables is one of the places where students really start to struggle with mathematics and feel like they can't do it. But the important thing is to make it fun. Puzzles, games, things like that are fun, and they're a great way to actually just work with your kid. We all learn by, observation. We learn by emulation. We learn by identification with our parents. So, playing this game with them is an important way to help them develop these skills as well. To see it's not so bad, and you can learn it, and it is important. So let me show you how to play it real quick. Okay, so to play the game, you need a sheet like this. This grid has 20 squares by 20 squares, and then you need dice. We're going to use a 10-sided dice, something to write with, something to color with. And you can play this with yourself, or you can play it against somebody if you want. But the idea is to try to fill up this whole thing with squares, colorful little happy squares. So we'll roll two 10-sided dice. So we got 3 and we got 4. Okay, so the first one we're going to do is 3 times 4. We're going to find somewhere on this grid where we want to create a 3x4 square. So let's say I'm just going to create mine here. Oh, our ink's running, and then I'll just make a little face. You can color it in if you want, however, and then we'll write here the answer. So that's 12. We continue on, and let's say, okay, a 3 again. Let's roll that over. 1, come on, let's do something. Okay, 4 times 7. All right. So we'll write it down, 4 times 7, and then we can come up here and color. So you want to have a little bit of strategy so you can try to fit in as many possible. So I'm just going to put, I don't know, where do I want to go? Let's say we'll do 7 this way. So, and I marked them off by, the grids are sectioned off by 5s just to help counting. And then we'll do a 4 there, like this. And then we have our little square there, and then we write the answer. Now, I don't think that there's anything wrong with actually counting the squares out. In fact, I think that that's an advantage, because when you start getting to things like when you have 3x4, I mean, you can just go in and count them pretty easily. But as you get to ones larger, it takes a lot of time to count 4 times 7 to count all these squares here. So immediately you see the advantage of multiplication. Now, the other thing that you'll notice is that this is also showing the concept of multiplication as being an area. So this isn't necessarily obvious when kids learn multiplication that that's what they're doing. You can see that that's a concept that they can learn from doing this. The one other concept you can see here is, let's do one more. So, not 1. 5 times 7. Okay, I'm just going to do it down here. I'm going to go this way and then up 7 and across. The other thing you can notice is that multiplication can be thought of as repeated addition. 5 times 7, right? But you can also think of that 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, 7 times. Or, and here's another interesting thing you might notice, is that 5 times 7 is the same as 7 times 5. So multiplication is commutative. that you can flip the order of it. That's another concept that kids can grasp from this. So there's a lot of dimensions to this game. At the end, when your square doesn't fit, then that's when the game's over. Feel free to try it out yourself. This template will be available on my school community, Dad Science, so if you want to download that and print it. I tried this game with my daughter, and she really liked it. We played a few rounds of the game, and then she ended up bringing it to school and showing her teacher. And her teacher loved it and asked if I could just share this template with her. So I sent it over, and she printed some out for the class. And then my daughter also gave a presentation on it in front of the class how to play the game. So I think that it is a pretty effective way of teaching multiplication, and I hope it's fun, and I hope it helps improve your child's math numeracy. Thanks. I hope you have fun with this, and I hope it is helpful. All right, thanks. Bye.